Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here, and today I want to talk about Slormreapers in the Slormancer. This is pretty much your weapons in the game, and there are a whole ton of them with 120 different ones for each character. Now, most of these can just be found as drops, but some of them are specific quests or just from buying them from different merchants. And so I just want to go through and talk about how do you get every single Slormreaper in the game, and how do you get Primordial Reapers. And yes, I have already gone and gotten all of the Slormreapers for the Fierce Huntress and 42 of the Primordial ones. And the first thing I want to talk about real quick with Primordial ones, I know it's maybe a little bit out of order here, but previously in the game, this required that you killed a certain number of enemies with it. However, they have changed this so that now it is just hitting whatever level that you need based off your affinity with that weapon. So you don't have to kill like thousands and thousands of enemies. You can see here, for example, that this weapon by Corey Ironbender, it is level 88 and is primordial. And the baseline here, I only have 2,781 victims with it. Now this is a Corey Ironbender weapon, 88. So if we go talk to Corey here, we go down to the affinities tab. We can see that Corey Ironbender's affinity, this levels up across your entire account for all your characters, has a 12 reduced affinity primordial cap, which means once you get to 100 minus whatever this number is, that is the level that weapons are going to go primordial. There's only one exception to this rule, and that is the God weapon. And this one seems to go primordial at around 10,000 kills, but it has no levels to it, which is the only exception. Now, when you're going and just looking at getting normal Reapers, there's pretty much only a couple different ways to get them. You're going to get them randomly as drops from breaches. You're going to be able to go and purchase some from vendors, like for example, the Fate Crusher unique Slormreaper here. There's also another one at the guy for the Slorm Temple. You can get some as drops. So once you get to like 150 on the Slorm Temple, you will get the pure bow of the Temple Keeper. And the other ones you can get for clearing out the Adam Nostris trials are the Altair Area's Perfect Bow and the Vengeance for killing Omagad after Netherrealm. And that's pretty much how you get most of them. Now, when you are looking at, there's one other way to get it, by the way, we'll talk about here in a second. But when you're looking at bows, if, for example here, I see that have Adam Nostris' sword, I can see that the next two swords here are linked by this gray band, which tells me that this evolves into that. And all weapons that evolve will have this band with one exception, and that is the Slormbane Twin Bow and Gold Scourge bows, because these two instead combine to make Ori Furious. So once you get both of these bows to 50, they will combine into one bow. And when you set any bow to be primordial, all of the weapons behind it in its evolution tree will also become primordial. So we can see here that the Legion bows at the top, first bow of unity, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. This is like an evolution line. All I had to do was get this one up to its primordial breakpoint, and it gives me the primordial for all of the bows. And so that's pretty much how that works. I did say that there was one more way to get a Reaper, and that is to go to Corey Ironbender. And you would click on the Reaper tab here, and then if we go to our Slormreaper part, we can see that a lot of these are flashing. And what these are is weapons that another character on this save file has already found. And so, for example, if I wanted to make the Sword of the Trainee for my melee guy here, we can pretty much go and do that. We just need 1,000 of whatever spirit is required. Now, you can only craft weapons that cannot be purchased, and they also can't be an evolution. And you have to have already found it with somebody else. And so I don't think that I, for example, here can go and get either of the God weapon or other stuff like that, or any of the ones that like evolve, but I could go and make myself like the Sword of the Trainee. And it kind of looks like this. Boom. Pretty easy. And then now I have access to this weapon, and it's just kind of good to go. I can use this now to level up my character super duper fast. Other ways to earn Reapers is really just going through the Slorm Temple or going here to the Tempopotamus Bastion. Once you're like level 27 or higher, this is probably one of the better ways to like get experience and get some gold and Slorm. And also you're closing 3 breaches at a time. And that's really like what you need to be doing, is closing as many breaches as you possibly can, as fast as you can. And so really one of the best things you can do is going and doing the Slorm Temple, because each time that you clear a breach, or each time you clear like a room, it counts as breach. And this can kind of like take a while to get all of the different Reapers. I was getting about like 2 every hour of playing, but then really once we started to like very much go fast, we were getting like a lot of Reapers, and it really felt like I went from having like 70 out of 120 to having like all of them very, very quickly. And this like number really can be like very confusing and very like misleading, because like all of the ones that evolve count here. And so like, for example, if you haven't gone and like gotten the 5 off of Legion, like when you drop Legion, that's just basically 6 like different bows, because you can level it all the way up here. And so you might have a lot of different like weapons that can be like leveled up or just evolved. And personally, I really like to do this in the Forge. The Great Forge, I think, is really darn good for leveling up weapons and just leveling up gear in general. Mostly just because like enemies just continuously come at you, and you can just like fight. And there's like, you know, not really a lot of downtime. Don't have to wait for anything. And so you're just like having enemies coming at you nonstop. Now, one thing to note is that you do not have the ability to get any Reapers inside the Forge. Oh, we're getting rolled at level 1. Probably gonna die. So you do not need to, there's not a really great way to get your, like, you know, your Reapers unlocked, because you do not have the ability to get any Reapers at all from that mechanic. I guess I should probably put some gear on or something for the character before I did that, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully this video helped you out. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments down below, and come by the stream. I should be live. See ya.